That's right, everybody. It is our year of no, and what exactly that means is basically we're gonna start holding each other more accountable. No means no kind of mentality. When it comes to food, like, oh, let's just stop at a gas station and get some hot Cheetos. Or you want to maybe do some wings tonight for dinner? She loves chicken wings. That's gonna be a big fat no from now on.
Yeah, saying no to each other, saying no to ourselves, saying no to other people. We've kind of just like dabbled in the whole like sacrificing things, but now it's time to sprint. I'm tired of like tiptoeing and like trying to like unintentionally prolong this whole thing. So I'm ready to get it done. All right, so you guys think of it like this. You know, in the movie Forrest Gump, when Forrest was a little boy and he's standing on that road with Jenny, and then here come those boys on those bikes and they're pelting him with rocks, right? Think of those rocks and those boys as our old ways trying to hold us down. You know, going out to eat and overspending all the time, you know, making us to not make the progress that we needed, right? But then Jenny, she's standing there, she says, "Run, Forrest, run!" And that Jenny, that's you guys. And that's our family, and that's our friends, like cheering us on and saying, yeah, you can do it. And that feels great. And then here we are, Forrest, right? So we're like, oh, I gotta run. And then so we try to run, okay? This is what we been doing. Trying to run, but we got the braces on our legs, right? Trying. And then like eventually the braces start to fall off. And then we start getting into a full-on sprint. All the braces, all the dead, just dropping. Gazelle intense. This is what I'm talking about. This is what we're gonna be doing.
Run, Forrest! Run away! Hurry! Get the bikes! Hurry up! Let's get it! Come on! Look out, Johnny! Here we come! Get you! Run, Forrest! Run! Run, Forrest! We're back here, you! Run, Forrest!
So you may be asking yourself, how are these two fools gonna be gazelle intense now, right? Because it's been months, right? And why are they gazelle intense already? Well, I mean, months ago we came up with a budget. It's probably like last July, and we have been doing our best to stick to it. You know, I mean, we have nothing but excuses for reasons why we haven't, but we've been sticking to it overall. I would say pretty well. Because I mean, we have paid some things off. We've had to, you know, we've had some kind of emergency things happen. So we've been doing good, all things considered. But we could definitely be doing better. So you know, with your budget, you're gonna make sure you know you have your cash flow in and your cash flow out. You're gonna want to take your cash flow in, subtract your cash flow out, and hopefully you're gonna have a positive number left over. Whatever number you have left over, and hopefully it's positive, is the number that you can put towards your debt snowball. And that's what we're gonna be doing.
All right, so like we told y'all in like the very beginning of all of this, we're gonna be very real with y'all, very transparent about everything. So part of that is kind of just like going into detail our specifics of our budget. So like Zachary said, the incoming cash flow and the outgoing cash flow, and give y'all a little breakdown of that. So specifically using the month of January as far as bills that are due, and then about our average-ish income because it changes, from paycheck to paycheck sometimes. So our total combined monthly income after taxes, not including our side hustles, is round about $7,602.89. Okay? So then we start to subtract things. So our living expenses without debt, including our allowance, gas, and groceries, is $3,056.21, roundabout. And then, so that means that our amount paid toward debt each month without our extra payment is $3,351.93. So then that leaves us, thank goodness, with that positive number left over that we can just pelt at the debt, which is gonna just make our snowball bigger. So, and then that total is $1,194.75.
So like Jasmine just said, and our living expenses, included in that is our allowance, gas, and our groceries. And we've come up, we didn't come up with it, but we borrowed this idea from many people, and I think Dave Ramsey even recommends it, is an envelope system. And we have, $200 for groceries every month. What, $300 for gas every month. And then we each get $50 allowance every month. So that added together is about $600. It's not about $600. It is $600.
Exactly $600.
It's exactly $600.
So as part of the groceries, really it should be like grocery and household. We include like cleaning products and what other like random whatever we need in the house, if we need to replace a shower curtain, that sort of thing.
Paper towels, toilet paper,
what have
like
you. Like, you know what I mean? But we also include our pets, and like maybe we talked about eventually having a whole nother like allowance for them in the future.
So for those of you who saw our update video about a month ago and have been keeping up on our Instagram and our Facebook page, we you know that about 2 or 3 months ago now, man, it's been that long. October last year, I got into a wreck. I was rear-ended and it totaled my car. So unfortunately, I was without a car pretty much for 2 or 3 months. And now, a week and a half ago, we finally decided on a new car for me. And it is a 2017 Chevy Malibu. It's very nice. It's gonna be very good for Uber, because I actually looked and I figured out, and I've not told you this yet, but I actually qualify for the comfort drive.
Oh, that's more option.
So it's more of an option.
To pick up.
Yeah. And so it's actually a little bit more money if you do that too, so that'll be really cool. But the only downside to all that is the car needed to be financed.
Yeah, that definitely sucks, because like that's not something that we wanted, but
At all.
But here we are. But then also last week, good old Jasmine was on her way to work, minding her own business, right? Actually, where I work sometimes is like up in like the valley of like a mountain or whatever. So it's actually pretty scary. Maybe one day I'll like show y'all a video of like me driving there. It's like one of those like video games. Anyways.
I would like that.
Yeah, I think that'd be good.
I would like it.
It's pretty cool, honestly, but also very unsafe. Anyways, so like in the mountains it's like this. And that's not an exaggeration. Anyway, so I'm like all done with this whole like 20-minute drive, like winding through the mountain, right? And like I said, 2 minutes after I've gotten out of this, and I'm about to turn onto the street where I'm working that day, the steering wheel gets stiff, and a little steering wheel icon on the thing pops up, and a little swervy thing like pops up too, and I'm like, what the crap? And then I'm like, well, maybe just like the power steering went out on the car, right? Maybe it just needs a little of that juice to get it going again. So I like maneuver myself back to my job, right? Well, not back to my job. I maneuver myself to my job, and I park, and I'm just like, okay, what am I gonna do? Because there is no way that I'm gonna be able to whip around that mountain again on the way home without killing my dumb self. So thank God for AAA. And like Zachary said before, all of this stuff on like our Instagram, our Facebook, all of this stuff. I already let everybody know this, but just in case y'all didn't see that, I ended up having to be towed through the mountain, hour and a half to the dealership by our house, the Hyundai dealership, so they could look at it and service it or whatever. Because there is no power steering in my old car. Okay, there's no juice to put in there. It's electric, and
It's electric power steering.
but there's no juice.
Yeah, there's no power steering
Fluid. So
or juice.
So yeah, AAA paid for that tow, and it is awesome. If y'all don't have like roadside assistance, please get it, because it has saved our tails multiple times in the last couple months. Matter of fact, I told him this, but we tapped out our 4 like service things for the whole year just within the last few months. But anyway, so when I get to the dealership, I drop off the car, and the next day they call me. They say there's like $4,000 worth of repairs that need to be done, and this car in its current state is worth like $1,500. But hold on. And I tell these folks, I said, you mean I'm gonna have to purchase another car? Last week we just purchased the car. Excuse me, hold on. Last week we just financed a car, and now we're gonna have to do it again? Real cute, right? So I got us a Hyundai Elantra 2017, looking very much like the one we had in October that got totaled. These will be very stable cars. It'll get us from point A to point B in our regular everyday careers, but also very stable and reliable to be able to help us do Shipt and Uber. So hopefully this will be a stable situation, I pray, at least until we get done with this whole paying off the debt, because let me tell you, I don't want to accrue any more debt.
Amen. So yeah, thank you everybody for watching this video. I know hopefully it didn't run a little long, but it's kind of more of an update, and then also what we're doing for our budgeting video. So yeah, so just thank you for sticking around. We'll see y'all later.